Hello, Tenno Zelp here, and today I'm going to show you a possible bug with the Oberon's third skill Renewal. Now, I did not come across this myself, someone actually told me about it on Discord, and I'd like to thank him for sharing and allowing me to make a video out of it. So let's get into it, but first we have to roughly understand what is Renewal and what it does. In short, now I'm going to simplify this because I am planning to make a breakdown of all his skills when I get the Oberon Prime, but I'm still farming it. So I'm just going to go really brief with the Renewal. What it pretty much does by itself is that it heals you and it also slows the bleed out if you ever were to bleed out. So over here you can see that the bleed out slow in percentage is 45. So that means you bleed out 45% slower. This skill is being affected by power duration. So if you do the calculations, you can actually see that you can bump this slow percentage to 100% if you have at least 222.2% duration power. Okay, and that is what I did here, and now I have a bleed out slow percent of 104. Okay, 104%. So what does this mean? It means that the timer of the bleed out stops. It doesn't go any further. So I'm going to show you a demonstration. I have me, myself, and also the Sentinel. Now usually the Sentinel will die immediately when it gets destroyed. Okay, when it gets killed. Okay, so because of Renewal, now both you and your Sentinel will not die when you die. So, oh great. Yeah, my Sentinel is modded to proc stuff, so there you go. If you have sacrifice on, it will use sacrifice on you. Okay, now this is the actual time that he dies because there is no longer the regen to help him survive this death, and you can see that he is still around. He's still above me. My bleed out timer has stopped, and although he still moves, he cannot attack anymore. He doesn't use any skills anymore. He is pretty much dead, but his body is still around. So what does this mean? So first of all, this means that since bleed out will make you unaffected to further damage, you and all your allies will be able to do damage while being invulnerable. The drawback is, of course, you have to crawl your way around the map. If you were to mod this correctly, your Renewal can last really long. Now here comes something interesting that may or may not be a bug, which is the fact that if you were to go to your Sentinel's dead body, you will actually have an option to revive it. Now reaching the body is a little bit tricky, and I found out that you can actually do it by crouching. This means that the Sentinel actually behaves like a Kubro or any other Warframe. When it's killed, if it doesn't explode, that body can still be revived. If you have the mod sacrifice where the Sentinel will kill itself in order to revive you, and since it couldn't kill itself completely, the body is still there, so you can revive him back. In other words, if you play your cards right, you can actually gain infinite revive from your Sentinel. All you have to do is make sure that your Sentinel does not die while he is reviving you. Now this only works in solo missions, and if you were to try to play this in public, it will not work. This is because the Sentinel will begin to start reviving you immediately after you start bleeding out in solo missions, but in missions where you can have allies, the Sentinel will only start using sacrifice and revive you after your bleed out reaches 0. So since you can't have your Renewal on, otherwise your bleed out will not reach 0, so it doesn't revive you. But if you were to turn off your Renewal, then your Sentinel will die after it revives you. So there is no infinite loop here. So that's pretty much it for this video. Now how are you going to use this newfound knowledge is completely up to you. Let me know if you find something else interesting, and I will see you in the next video. Have a pleasant day, Tennos. Bye bye.